We're gonna have ourselves a party.
There'll be food and drink and ghosts, and perhaps even a few murders. You're all invited.
You set them up and I'll knock them back, Lloyd. 1 by 1.
So the bartender pours me a drink.
And listen, don't worry about a thing. We got everything under control. You do your thing and I will do mine. Cowabunga!
Hey, Kristen, how you doing?
Hello. I'm good.
Well, welcome back. I know a lot's going on. Happy holidays.
Happy holidays, Dan.
How have you been spending your holidays?
Well, I went up to the Bay. I went to Oakland to see the mamas and the papas, and it was really fun. We drove through the terrifying torrential rain, so that was not as cute. But, I mean, right after that dump happened down here in LA, up in the Bay, it was gorgeous. It was really sunny and beautiful. Yeah. What did you do for the holiday?
Well, maybe I should have been in a sunny and beautiful landscape like you, but I wasn't because I was full on in Hawkins mode. My holidays since Thanksgiving have been absolutely dominated by season 5 of Stranger Things. And let me tell you something, Kristen. I have jumped deep into that rabbit hole that is fan theories, right? And I know what a lot of folks say, you got to say, this person dies if that person dies. What are we talking about deaths all the time? Okay. But I say if one just leave Lucas alone, that's me. Lucas and Dustin, they need to survive. But what, do you have any fan theories of your own?
Dusty and Steve can't go anywhere. It's unacceptable. I will riot. I will be so angry. They can't touch Steve and they can't touch Dustin. I mean,
if you were to kill off a character, though, let's just pick a character that we would kill off right now. Yeah. Your favorite character, just name them right now. And we'll just say, hey, they're expendable. Kill them off.
Hey, Danny, Kristen.
Yeah.
With all due respect, theorizing about which one of our beloved characters is gonna die is a little
what?
A little what?
Reckless.
Oh my God. What in the wide world of sports is going on, folks? Okay. Yeah, baby.
Who's this guy?
Down there.
What's going on? Hey, Slashers, welcome to another episode of Slashers Paradise. We are joined by your friend and mine, the newly anointed member of Slashers Paradise. Kristen is back to help me welcome in a wonderful presence, someone who has taken the country, the world by storm with his charming portrayal of one Sergeant Ramirez. That is my friend, Emanuel Borria, who is here visiting the Slashers Paradise. Welcome, Manny. Thank you for being here, sir.
I'm so happy to be here. Thanks for inviting me.
We're so glad you got off the base.
Yeah. Well... I would say in one piece, but didn't quite work out that way. But I'm happy to be here. Thanks for having me, guys. And hello to all your listeners and viewers and fans.
Oh, we appreciate that. Thank you for stopping by the Slashers Paradise. Now, when we talk about the Slashers Paradise, I know that you may have seen one or two of our episodes, but when we talk about that, this is imagine a pulse, maybe like someone shoots I don't know, dark matter, and a big pulse goes around. That's the way we view the Paradise. It just kind of all encompasses how we like to view our horror movies. We don't take them too seriously. We like to watch stuff, horror movies, sci-fi stuff, and just kind of have fun. So we would love for you, Manny, if I may, we would love for you to, first of all, tell everybody about yourself, who you are, what's going on, and any sort of first reactions from being here in the Paradise.
Where to begin? Gosh, yeah. Well, I'm an actor and based out of Los Angeles, and I have been living in LA for a long time, pursuing acting since I was a little boy, doing theater and performing plays and auditioning for whatever random stuff came my way. And I am a proud husband and a loving father, and I enjoy I enjoy performing. I enjoy acting. I know that you guys are improv based as well, or have some improv and comedy background. Of course, that I have some extensive training and experience in that realm as well. But I love to get serious as well, and I had a great opportunity to do so on my favorite television show, which was Stranger Things, and I was so beyond thrilled to be a part of it and to be able to step into the Upside Down and portray a character, any character on the show. But I got to play a character named Sergeant Ramirez, who has a heart and really cared about the kids of Hawkins, and that was exciting for me. Of course, it doesn't end well for me. That's a bummer. But listen, you got to go out heroically. So I was happy to be able to die for a cause.
Soldier with a soul. It was beautiful.
That's right.
Yeah, absolutely beautiful. And as you all know, folks, we don't shy away from spoilers here on Slashers Paradise. Here in this happy hour of horror, we are not going to make any exceptions either. So, if you are a fan of the show, you may recognize my boy Manny here as having suffered quite a fate, but we will get into that here in a little bit.
There's no need to rush into the saddest day of my life.
I want to say, we'll get into it. But, let's set the stage here a little bit. This is the happy hour of horror. And while, libations are not required, they are for sure encouraged. So, Manny, do you have a drink? Themed
you mean this
mug there. Oh, I do mean that one. What you drinking
put it
there?
In a mug. It's not coffee and it's not tea. No, I'm having a beautiful mixture of tequila and cucumber lime jalapeno mixer. And that is my bevy of choice tonight. And if I get bored with this, I will definitely just switch over to some California creamers that I have in the fridge. I usually have IPAs. I don't have an IPA today.
Solid.
Yep.
Nice.
Kristen, what you sipping on?
I am drinking a good old fashioned.
Good old,
Lovely.
old fashioned.
Old fashioned. It's a classic,
Nice.
smooth, easy. It's got a little kick. I love it. It's my fave.
It's like shatters on your face. It's got a...
It almost
What
sounded
you
like
got, Dan?
like a commercial there.
Right?
It's Miller time over here in Phelps Garage. I'm a classy little bitch. I maybe I'm channeling my inner Hopper. I don't know. I've seen Hopper, drink some stuff. Not Chianti, as he says, but definitely Miller time. But I do have something to keep me hydrated in case we get really lost in the Upside Down.
Uh-oh.
Oh,
What's
no. Why is that upside down? For you viewers, I am holding a limited edition Stranger Things Gatorade collaboration of Citrus Cooler, the upside down version, because it's upside down, right? So, Citrus Cooler was my favorite growing up. I'm actually going to have a little taste right now.
Solid.
Oh,
Cheers,
so
guys.
choice.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Cheers, cheers, cheers.
Cheers.
Yeah. And now, folks, listeners and viewers out there, you may not see him and you won't see him, but he is around. All right. And I just want to let you all know that fans of Lance, stans of Lance, we have not killed off the character of Lance in the Slashers Paradise. He is around, but he is in full producer mode today. So he will be here in spirit. You may not hear him. You may not see him, or you may see him in your dreams.
I can see him.
Okay.
I can see him always.
All right.
He's always with us.
Okay. So I guess let's jump right into it. Mandy, do you feel comfortable maybe sharing with our listeners, viewers, how you and I know each other?
I would love to. I wish we had gotten to know each other sooner. But when you meet somebody who you just hit it off with, and you know that they're just a nice human being. That was the exchange I had meeting you for our Bud Light commercial that turned into a Super Bowl ad last year. No, this year. It was earlier this year. Right?
Earlier this year. That's right.
Wow,
yeah.
that's crazy. That's crazy.
We were shooting it around this time, or just shot it last year at this time.
Something like that. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
It was about a year.
It was
ago.
like,
yeah, but we had the luxury of joining an awesome director's set. A friend of ours, Brian Billow, and he brought our worlds together. And we got to spend 3 glorious days on set. Is that right?
Yeah, 3 days.
Including
that was a lot of
fitting.
fun.
I can't remember the fitting, but I'm sure we met there. Maybe.
Yeah, I'm not
must
sure.
have been
Either.
there.
I don't know.
Magic.
Yeah.
I don't know.
We meet on fittings and
What-
shuttles. Fittings
Yeah.
and shuttles, man. Honestly.
It was all a dream come true. So you know how dreams blur.
Yep.
Me.
I know that
Is-
for sure.
yes.
I mean, honestly, same. As soon as I met you, I was like, this guy gets it. I was plugging Slasher's Paradise like a fiend, to the point where people were like, hey, do you like horror movies? I was like, okay, I'm sorry, I get it. But, I love this stuff. I love talking about this, maybe, I wouldn't say forgotten genre, but maybe underappreciated genre for, the longevity of cinema and, how long horror movies have been around, which is, if you really think about it, one of the first ones, of course. The very first movie was Mary Shelley's Frankenstein. I'm not going to get into all that, but let's just say horror has been around for a long time. But when you pulse people about what movies they like, they might go to your blockbusters, your dramas and actions, and that's okay. But I don't know. We just kind of like mind melded and then went our separate ways and saw each other on auditions and such, and then. And this is how I want to kind of jump into it, Manny. You sly fox. Had you already done Stranger Things by the time we shot Bud Light?
We shot Bud Light at the beginning of this year, right?
Well, no, we shot it 2024 at the end of 2024, so it could come out for the Super Bowl.
I was already done. Yeah, it was all.
Oh my gosh!
Sneaky Dickens. Ooh.
Whoa!
Ooh, he signed that NDA and he said, nope.
Yeah.
Not.
Dude, I sat on it for so long. It was crazy. I was in the mix for the role before the writer's strike, before the writers and actors strike.
That far back? Holy.
Yes.
Wow.
Which was like May, like that's when I was
a long time ago.
Like I don't even remember. I don't even remember when I auditioned first, and then I had the call back. But it was. But I can tell you that I was told I was in the mix, and then the industry shut down. Everything shut down, and so for months I just sat wondering, is this really gonna happen? Are they gonna just be rewriting? Like, how likely am I to have even be considered for the role? But then it all ended, and at the end of November of 2023, I found out that I was given the role.
Wow.
And then we went to work. We went to work at the end of January. I think I first started in February of 24. Right? That'd have been 24. So
24.
So I must not have. So I'm getting the dates all mixed up. But we worked when?
No, yeah.
That would have
We
been.
worked at the end of 2024 because the Super Bowl was beginning of this year, 2025.
Oh, yeah. So you were
Right?
wrapping up right before Budweiser.
That's right. Yeah. Okay. Sorry. Because 2024 was such an insane year because my, I don't know if Lance or Kristen, if you know this, but you do know this, Danny, that my daughter's on the show as well.
Stop it.
Yes.
You got a baby in the upside down.
I
the
say
right
that
side up.
because it turned what would have been just 6 months of working here and there to like the full year of being around in the world of Stranger Things because of her role and how involved it was for the rest of the season.
So you studied theater
Really
and you've
good,
been
sir.
on this acting journey out here in these streets for so many years.
Mean streets. Mean streets. Yeah.
How in God's name were you able to get in the room, read for Stranger Things? Like, how does that come to pass? And tell me all your secrets, P.S.
The entire journey of getting onto the show dates back to definitely when it first came out. But as we just discovered that we were at Cal State Fullerton together, the closest college to us was Chapman University, and that's where the Duffers went to college. A year into moving into LA, less than a year, I'm self-submitting. I'm trying to figure out how to get an agent. I'm just looking at the industry from the outside in, being like, how do we even start? How do we get in there? So I'm like, all right, I'll do this thing where I'm just submitting for projects. I see a student film, Chapman University, a couple of, roles that I click my little link to, and I end up booking the lead role in this student film that ended up being the Duffer Brothers senior thesis project.
Wow.
In 2000, I think we shot at the end of 2007. So I'd met the Duffers then, and we worked together, and we had this amazing experience working together. And I was very new to, I'd done so much theater up to that point. all the on-camera stuff was very limited, so it was a big opportunity for me and a big deal. And for them, it was their calling. You know, it was like this is what they were going to use in LA and like elsewhere to try to get some reps and get in the game also. So flash forward, you know, I keep in contact with them. I know that they're struggling as directors. They're starting to write their own material, and they start working on a show that they called Montauk, which is famously what Eater was before what Stranger Things was before they changed the name. So I knew that it was a show. As soon as it came, I remember the tweet when they sent out a tweet saying like Netflix greenlit their project, and I thought like this is huge, like this is it. You guys are, you know, and they had a movie that they filmed. I don't know if it came before. It was right before, and they had worked on a show called Wayward Pines as writers. But this was huge, and I was like so excited to see where it was going to go. And of course, when it dropped on Netflix out of nowhere and everyone fell in love with it, I was like, oh my gosh, even more so now. We got to figure out how to get on here. So going back all the way to Agents from 2016, 17, actually I think it was 2017 was the first time I auditioned for the show. When season 2 rolled around, there had been a breakdown that came out that was a little mysterious as the show, you know, all the roles, all the kind of descriptions are a little vague, or they're kind of like dummy materials, dummy sides. But this, there was a role that I auditioned for season 2 that ended up becoming the role of number 8 of Kali, of Elle's sister. So at the time, they were seeing it was open ethnicity, open gender, open everything. They were just like, let me see what's out there, basically. I read for Carmen. I got in the office. I actually called her office direct. I was like pitching it myself in there. I was like, hey, I'm an actor. I worked with the Duffers. I got to come in and read. And I told my agents, I was like, please submit on this. And I got a shot at it, and I took a swing, and it was a big miss. Like in hindsight, the direction I took it was totally off the mark. I completely missed it. And there had been other opportunities along the way. I think I auditioned for an FBI agent during the shootout in season 4. That really cool oneer that they do. That was a rad scene, yeah. Yeah, one of the FBI cops that's like babysitting them. And I think some other scientist one. But when this one came around, so when I first started working with my manager, it was a conversation we had from the very first meeting about wanting to get on the show or just get some more opportunities for it. And so it was a big deal for him, for my agent, for my manager to also kind of see this all the way through. We had a full circle moment of, you know, he pitched me in on this last season, and the opportunity came down, the audition came in. It was actually for 2 roles. They were auditioning for Sergeant Ramirez and for Akers, who on the page read a lot more menacing than me. Like, it just felt bigger on the page. Like, at one point, I was like, I think he's fighting Hopper, you know? And I'm like, I'm not going to fight Hopper. I'm like 5'9". Hopper, like, no one's going to believe that. Not to say that that's not why I didn't get that, but you know what I mean? Like, it just worked out. Like, the part that was right for me, it was this role of Sergeant Ramirez. And I got the, so I sent those tapes in. I think there were 2 scenes for each role. And heard that it was, that I was going to come in for a session with Carmen, an online Zoom session with her. And she directed it, and, you know, we did some things with it and sent it off. And I found out shortly after that I was being considered for it. But like I said, then we went on strike, and I didn't know anything until the end of the year. But it was a long journey to get on the show, and one that I mean, it was like a dream come true. And then to get my daughter, then for Birdie to be on it, my daughter got on the show. I was like, this is insane. Like, this is just getting better and better.
Oh my God. And how did that come to pass with your little one?
Same thing. You know, it's like every agent in town wants their client to be on the show in some way. And Birdie and I happen to be major fans of the show. So we tell our team, please, anything you see, let's submit and let's get in there. And so she got an opportunity right before I was going to start work. And so we were really excited. There was like 3 scenes, and they all showed a different range of stuff. And I thought she did awesome. Like, we taped that thing, we sent it off, and I was like, man, if this doesn't get you, at least consider for it in the mix or something. I just thought it was such a good performance. And then I was out shooting the breeze with the Duffers in between on the early scene work with Linda Hamilton. And I'm like, you guys are probably going to come across Birdie's tape. Like, my daughter just submitted for it. And I had mentioned how, she'd worked with Steven Spielberg, on his movie a few years ago called The Fabelmans. Birdie played one of Steven Spielberg's daughter or their sisters in it.
Oh, that's amazing.
And I know the Duffers are huge Spielberg fans, so I was so excited to talk about that with them. And they're like, wait, so they weren't like, I don't know how many tapes they must have seen of all the different actors that they were casting for that. But yeah, I don't know if they sought it out, or I think at the time they were like, well, we're getting to that. We haven't gotten there yet, but we're going to be looking at all those tapes soon. And, yeah. And then we got the call that she was also in the mix for it. And then we had to sit on that for a little while. And we're like, do we tell her? Cause she's going to flip out if we tell her she's in the mix and doesn't get it. So we kind of sat on it for a little bit for her too. And then we finally told her, and I was like, yeah, again, she was so excited for me to be going to work on it. Cause she couldn't wait to hear, she's like, I can't believe you're going to go to Atlanta. I'm going to be like around these cast members. And then I'm like, oh, little did I know of what was coming for her. And for us as a family, because we ended up spending so much time in Atlanta, which was a beautiful place. And we had such a great time and experience with the other cast and the crew. It was like insane. It was just insane. It was honestly the coolest experience. And to be able to experience it not only as a friend of the Duffers, as a former employee of theirs, but reconnecting with them on set, and then also coming in as a major fan of the show, and then also to experience it from the perspective of a dad, and just getting to see my kid work on it. So across the board, it was the coolest experience. And I was like, man, I don't know if I'm ever going to have anything like this ever again, but I certainly hope so, because it was really cool.
Oh, yeah, I mean,
it's incredible.
That is such a beautiful story. I mean, I guess talk about a little bit, or was it even a thing? Were you feeling as you were following the show and trying to get on the show in like season 1, season 2, season 3, and then it's coming out that season 5 is going to be the last one? Are you feeling any sort of like extra pressure? I mean, all's well that ends well. Obviously you nailed it, right, and you're in it. But did that ever cross your mind that you're like, well, here it is. It's the last season. It's,
I think there was some of that, if I'm being honest. I'm sure there was a bit of like, and more of just like man, this is it, right? This is like all actors this is the last chance we all have to maybe get on the show, right? This is it. Of the original, who knows what the spinoff and anything else that comes up is going to be, but for the original series and the cast and everything else and the story, yeah, I was like, okay, it's like, I just hope there's something that I'm right for, and that I can at least keep trying, to get in there. So yeah, it was certainly a little bit of that, but there was no expectations, of course. It's like, you work with people, and there's no expectations that there's no guarantees that you're going to get it just because you know a person or anything like that. You really have to fight for it regardless. But yeah, it was certainly like, oh man, this is it. Although I will say this, with the Duffers in particular, I was like, I don't know if it's going to happen on this show. But regardless, I'm going to continue to want to work with them for the rest of my career. And obviously they're going to go on to make other things, and they're already busy at work at it. So I was like, I always kind of, I'm like, if it's meant to be, it's going to happen. And obviously we're going to try to position ourselves and generate more opportunities so that might happen. But, this industry, as we all know, is insane, and there's no guarantees. So it's just really exciting to see that it came together in the way that it did. You really couldn't have predicted how cool it was going to like morph into.
No, that's cosmic. That's amazing.
Totally.
No, absolutely. I mean, there's obviously certain things that actors, experience, different scales of sets, different scales of projects, things like that. I mean, everything from a non-union or student film all the way up to, a major Netflix production. Did it feel different when you got on set, Manny? Like, did it feel like, oh, dang, this is the biggest thing I've ever been a part of? Or was it like, talk about the environment, or just like kind of like, the vibe?
Well, I knew going into it was going to be stepping into a world in which I was like, I feel very fortunate to be here. Like this is a show, not only it's already one of the biggest shows, but this is going into the final thing. So this was like, I knew there was going to be, it was going to be a big experience. I knew that they were going to put a lot of, the production was going to be massive. But beyond that, I was actually really at ease, and knowing that I had this history with them. I can't tell you, like, when I got there, they had planned a rehearsal the day before, or the morning of, when we were supposed to start work. And the first things we did was all the scene work with Linda Hamilton in the Upside Down. And so I'm just really excited. I'm like, let's see what's work going to be like. I get to like meet Linda Hamilton and work and see the Duffers again. It had been so many years since we've even chatted. And we were supposed to have this rehearsal, which I thought, perfect. We'll get that out of the way before like we get into it. And they canceled it, but I did get to share of the van ride to set from the hotel with Linda Hamilton. And I was so excited to have just that bit of time to get to know one another before we got into all of it. But yes, walking, I would say this, I get carried away with like thinking about the memory of it all, but walking into set, I didn't get a chance to see them beforehand. So we really reconnected as we're walking into the corridor on set from opposite sides, and they lit up, the Duffers lit up, and I lit up. I was like, oh my gosh, this is crazy to see you guys here. So much life has passed and their worlds have changed so drastically. From like I think they even made a joke about the budget's just a little bigger than the student film. And I'm like, yeah, I guess you're right. But I look, at no point did that it was lost on me that this was the biggest opportunity, the biggest show to be on. It's going to have so many eyes on it and exciting fans watching it, wondering what's going to go down. So as a fan of the show, being there in on it, I was like geeking out. I wanted to know everything. I wanted to see everything. I was like, this is, these are the tunnels and the vines from season 2. And I'm just like, I don't know where that's playing into a lot of this, because they keep us in the dark. So it was mysterious enough, but I was in the inside enough to where I was like picking up details from the wall art in the wardrobe department and, some little details like that where I'm just like, I wonder how that's going to tie in.
Was there anything that you saw that later on you were like, I was right, I knew it. I saw that blueprint or that sketch and I got it.
Well, it's fun. We see like some of the playback, right, from the scenes that they're shooting because they have multiple stuff going on every day, especially by the middle of the production towards the end. They had like 2 units going all the time. It was insane. Wow. But I got to see like daily, like some of the playback of like Ted Wheeler being launched across the wall, and I'm like, what? I'm like, Ted Wheeler's getting in on the action? Like, this is going to be fun,
Yeah.
Off the couch.
This is going to be, I'm like, it's about time, dude. Let's see him get into it,
Put in some work, Ted. Yeah.
Yeah. So there were things like that where I'm like, I don't know where they're sprinkling that in, but I can't wait to see it play out, And so there has been a lot of that. Or, like there was a wall art. I remember seeing a picture of like a pregnant woman or something. And I was like, what's up with that? I'm like, I don't know what that, I was like, was that Karen? Is that Karen? I was like, I don't know who that, who this is supposed to be in this photo or what this is about. But that sat with me for all this, all up until the last, the volume 2. And I was like, there it is. There it is.
That's it.
Yeah. Oh, that's okay. Yeah, we get what's going on, Vecna.
Yeah. So, listen, Lance and I have multiple times kind of had conversations about, is this a horror movie? That's one of our favorite things to do. We just did a big holiday horror episode where we basically talked about scary movies or scary moments in a lot of like, non traditional horror movies. Was there any point in time when you were on set doing your thing? I mean, obviously going back and forth with Linda Hamilton, and I will come back to Linda Hamilton here in a little bit because it does tie into the whole, I think The Terminator, the first one, is a horror movie more than it's a sci-fi movie, but we'll get into that. Was there any point in time where, as big as it is, as busy as it is, were you like, oh shit, there's Demogorgons coming after us, and you allowed yourself to kind of like be swept up in like the fear of it all? And like, obviously, spoiler for anyone who hasn't seen the first volume, with Vecna coming in and doing his absolute damnedest, dirtiest work on you of all the folks. Tell me about like how close you were able to get to that, given all the effects that still had to be worked in post.
Did you get lost?
Did I get lost in it? I did get lost in it. For one, the backlot that they had. Have you seen any of the behind the scenes building of rehearsals within the MAXZ?
Yes.
All the background, and the stunts and the soldiers and everything. So I got to be around it, in the pyrotechnics and the excitement of like, the set being so awesome, right? And I'm looking around, I'm seeing some performers laying on the ground, I'm seeing dummies over here, I'm seeing, you know, body parts, like, so that was enough to let my imagination start going there, right? And on top of that, this was the first day that Jamie Campbell Bower was on set as Vecna for the, I can't remember if he was there for some other, he probably was there some other nights, but it was the first encounter I had with him in his makeup. And he was, you know, obviously they add a ton of CGI after the fact, but I'm still seeing his eyes and his performance and hearing his voice and his staring down his eyes. So all of that was happening as he's like literally hovering over me. So, you know, I just had to look up and just imagine what horrors lie beyond his, you know, his gaze. And, and then the fact that he's got this upgrade now that he can just and slice you like that, just extend his little fingers into your brain. It was cool. So yeah, I got to go there, and, you know, I'm also laying at that moment that builds up to it. It's just like I'm in my own little space, just trying to get to my weapon after everybody has been blown to bits. So it was easy to drop into that feeling of like, you know, we picked a fight that we shouldn't have gotten into, and we're dead, and we're dead,
And we're dead.
And we're dead.
and we're dead, and we're not going to stand a chance here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know the Duffers talked about...
Oh, sorry. I was going to add one little thing that they also had a previs of the full choreographed action piece, the oneer that culminated with, you know, at least where they stopped the video, so I didn't get any more spoilers, was the CGI kind of computer generated version of what it was kind of going to be, you know, where it was going to come out. And so I had that at least to imagine how that would feel to get impaled like that.
To get impaled. Yeah.
So I guess that's the direction, right? They didn't want to spoil anything for you, but they also have to tell you, hey, you got to react to being unalived here. And they go into detail to just act like your face is being filled with vines,
right?
Or tentacles. Yeah. Like what, you know, like.
It was the conversation was like, there was so much going on set. The Duffers like, all right, so yeah, you're trying to get away. You're trying to reach that weapon right there. It's right there. And you're in a lot of pain. And then we're going to feel out of nowhere, you're going to hear like the first action is of it going through your face. And then we're going to hold there for a second. And then the second beat that we're going to need is the moment it retracts. So we're going to need to see the, you know, your physical body just drop out of it. So at least I had that, and I knew, you know, it was going to look cool. I'm sure whatever they were going to do to it, they did a full scan, so I knew the technology was going to be on point. But there's nothing that could really prepare you for seeing that for the first time. You know, I was just as shocked as everyone else. I was like, golly, that's what
went through my eyeball.
Yeah. He really wrecked me.
Wow.
Yeah.
He really hurt my feelings with that one, you know.
being a fan,
he could have just flicked me.
Damn,
he could have just flicked me out of the Max Z.
Yeah, just do a joystick.
Just push me over just swip me. Yeah, she was fine.
Yeah.
But no, Vecna's gonna put his fingers in my brain.
So rude.
I'm still mad about it, obviously.
I mean, I was a super huge fan, fell in love with it when I first saw it. And then as you start hearing the Duffers kind of like give, you know, this is what's going to happen, but they're not giving too much. But then the one thing that came out that everybody latched onto, the most violent on-screen death in Stranger Things history. You're just kind of like, what does this mean? Who's it going to be? I think we're all
right.
Everyone's
like, better not be Steve.
Better not be
right.
Steve.
They went straight to the characters. But I remember you, you know, you made the trailer, right? So we were already buddies at that point. So you shared it on your Instagram. I saw it and I was like freaking out. I'm like, you son of a bitch, you're in it. Holy shit. And I was like, pumped for you.
Yeah.
And then I saw Volume 1. Right. And then I ran into you at an audition, and I didn't want to scream it, but I just wanted to be like, it's you. You're the most violent death. Holy shit.
Right. That was the most. So I got so I saw the same article, right? And I saw the same interview. And I don't remember which came first, but we got to go to the premiere in LA and they showed the first episode and a little bit of the second episode because it kind of rolls into it with Karen, that whole sequence with Holly getting taken. And so at the premiere, Ross, I was chatting with him at one point, and he was like, dude, you're deaf. I was like, you're deaf. Really? He goes, I think it's the most gruesome one. I think it's the most gruesome death we've ever had on screen. I was like, well, that just got me real excited. As I was reading it for the first time, I remember pausing it as I was reading through the battle sequence for the first time. And I thought, well, I either want to survive this and, Ramirez comes back later on to try to do whatever he can do, or I want to die a really cool death. I was like, let me just see where this goes.
You had a good one.
And so, I turned into that and I read it and I was like, well, this is going to be insane. Insane. What an ending to see. Not just like a normal death. I could have got shot by a bullet, friendly fire. I could have got.
Well, I think what's really cool about your character and why it's so needed is I think whenever there's like a military base setting or a government conspiracy or what, my brain goes to video game mode. Where you're just as a user picking people off, a soldier's a soldier, whoever, or you're under the umbrella of the bad guys. So, he's easily disposable. But your little scene with Linda just made it like, oh, we got a human in there. Like, we have a dude who's questioning authority, who's like, this doesn't feel right. So it felt, as gruesome and horrible as your death was, it was nice to have a little bit of human connection to one of the ants or one of the, because any rational human being who has a soul, who has empathy, who is like, what are we doing to these kids? It's nice to have a little dose of that to remind us, like, these side characters are people too.
Right.
And what might be construed as evil or the bad guys or the government are dicks or the police are dicks or the military are dicks. Like, it just gives you that very human moment of, no, that he probably has a family at home. He's empathetic. He's like, are we sure that this is a good idea? Is this a good strategy? So it's nice to see one of the soldiers have a moment of like, wait, what are we doing here?
That's the writing, I was so excited to come across that. And I was like, this is nice that there is finally a representation of somebody in here who's like, how sad would it have been if Sergeant Ramirez was one of the soldiers who like Hopper killed or something? That would have been unfortunate because they're all kind of in battle. They're all in war. And so I'm like, it's a bummer that the good guys are having to fight the military too, but it's like, they're all just doing their duty. Yeah. But yes, it was nice to see that there was a little bit of in there where it's like, yo, have we forgotten what we're doing here? They were like harming children.
Yeah.
To have that, I think is so smart too, because for an audience, even though it's such a split second when you see him crawling across the battlefield, that you think maybe, it might even just be for a split second to think, is he still in this? Is he going to get away? And then they're like, no, nobody is safe. Yeah. Vecna is going to destroy everything, So even to build up a slight little, this guy's going to be, nope.
Yeah.
No, they're all in danger. So I just thought it was so cool to have that in there. I was really excited to be able to have something to play and, to have a little confrontation sequence with Linda Hamilton was incredible too.
Yeah.
Even though it's so quick, but it was so much fun to have those exchanges with her.
What was it like to be gaslit by that? That authority figure? Like, are you saying that you can't protect it? Like,
just got punked.
The manipulation? How did that feel in the moment? AKA also working with one of the greats.
Yeah, the take that they ended up using was the one where I was like, man, we felt locked into one another. And, and she just turns it on. And the look that she gives when she's like, oh, what are you saying? You can't, it's like, oh my God. That's scary. It's scary to look into that and to react to that was great because I was like, well, I have to just react normal here. Like what realistically here, what's the right course of action here? Because I am speaking up to my superior officer and there are serious ramifications to that. So I had to be, you had to tiptoe around what you're trying to convey without getting in trouble. But yeah, she was like, it was amazing to like lock into her eyes and see all that, we've seen that face in so many things, for it to be staring back at me was awesome. Intense, great, and I got to just feed off of it.
Were you a fan of Terminator, like a big fan of Terminator, like a super fan before you met Linda?
Super fan, I would say super fan, but I love it. Like I love it the way I enjoy. And I did go and rewatch all of it before meeting her. I even watched her first movie, which was called Rape and Marriage or something like. Such a rough movie to watch. I'm like, this is crazy, but yeah, it's super dark. She's fantastic in it, but watching Children of the Corn, and watching Terminators with her, when she came back into it as well. Yeah, it was just fun to rewatch all that, just to be like, all right, well, let's just brush back up on what she's bringing to the table.
I'm so glad that they brought her in, because that does, and they obviously, being the Duffers, have continued this. It's not, Sarah Connor. It's not Paul Reiser's character from Aliens. It's not, Sean from the Goonies and Sean Astin. But you look at them and you have to see they're in this world and it's all connected and homage all over the place. It's like, it's hard not to connect that stuff.
They make it seem so effortless.
I know.
Yes.
Yeah, truly.
And I think that's what made me such a fan of the show. But I do also want to kind of piggyback on the writing and how kind of effortlessly we fall, like we care about Sergeant Ramirez, like almost off the bat, because he's not just a grunt. We see plenty of grunts. They're all over the place. And I just think that that's so effective. And I just wish like more up and coming writers would just take notes from stuff like this. It's like, you could show gruesome deaths and that could be something and fine. Right. But we've seen that. Like we fell in love with slashers, for, their cannon fodder or killing and slashing up Jason Voorhees and stuff. But I always say in anything that we talk about, in any sort of like big bad killer, if they're going to like slice up or kill anyone in the most gruesome way, if you care about that character, even in the most, it just messes with you. I mean, I go back to Friday the 13th Part 4 and why I like it over other Friday the 13th, even the original, because they spent time on characters. They spent a lot of time, but you actually don't need to. You just need to get a badass to be the character and portray it really awesome like you did. But I'll tell you, man, like we jumped. I was like, oh shit, when it happened, because I did not see that coming. It's just kind of the way you were paced, the way the editing kind of paced your, the whole like sort of thing. And even that little thing where you're out of the Upside Down, you're at the Max Z, and you have that line where they say they lost the kids, and you're like, he lost the kids. I'm like, okay, they didn't show him just to show him. Right. Sergeant Ramirez is going to be here for the long haul. Right. And then I think that's what kind of like jars the audience and we don't see it coming. Although,
it gives you one little reminder. Yeah. One little reminder there, right? Towards before the battle, like, hey, he's a nice guy. Remember, he's a nice guy.
Yeah.
He cares about the kids.
That's why it's so smart.
And the Duffers did say that they were thinking more Hellraiser. Are anybody a fan of Pinhead and the Hellraiser franchise? Mm-hmm. That's the one that always kind of escaped me. I talked to Lance about this a lot. That's the one that's like, I never really got into it just because like, I don't know. But I know that was their motivation a lot for this version of Vecna, or even like, just, his style. But when those vines went, or, his extension went through your face,
his nail extension.
I kind of felt really like it was a
nail extension.
It was a bit of a Groot more than a Hellraiser.
Yes,
you kind of got Grooted, from Guardians.
Totally Grooted, yeah.
But definitely very effective. And we were sad to see Sergeant Ramirez go. But while we have the dad of one birdie here with us today, I would like to actually talk to you a little bit about how you are now that obviously Sergeant Ramirez is not there, but Birdie's character is still in the show. Up until this point, we are recording before the finale. Yep. Talk about just your whole emotional roller coaster being just the supportive dad to her, like, because don't you have to do the double duty? Like you got to film your stuff, but don't you have to be on set with her as well while she's filming her stuff?
Right. Yeah. You have to have a parent on set. Which we at one point we just relocated out there. So either my wife or I was on set, but there were probably 5, 6, 7 days where we were on the same call sheet together, which was really
that's amazing.
So special.
How often does that happen in Hollywood? Barely ever.
Yeah, exactly. I'm looking at the call sheet and I'm just staring at it in disbelief. I'm like, here we are. 2 fans of the show, dad, daughter get to be on it, and our names are right there below all these other cast members who we love.
And P.S., future generations of all the dads and daughters are going to be able to watch you guys for who knows how long. Like, we all know that Stranger Things, I would say, is on the same realm as, like, a global phenomenon and a very unified fan base for generations to come. It's like a Lord of the Rings. It's a Game of Thrones.
Oh, I think so too. Yeah.
So
it'll be there forever. I feel so fortunate to be involved in it, and for Birdie too. Like, she gets to grow up, and she went back to middle school, and it's like, her friends are all into it. Everyone's into it,
yeah.
And she had to keep the secret from them too. So, Volume 1 comes out, and they're like, "Oh, we see you in it," but then Volume 2 is like, "Oh, you're in the storyline. Like, you're very much involved in it."
Yeah.
I will say, as we got really, really lucky, the way they cast it, all the kids that they cast of part of the 12 that were taken, are so awesome. And they all became such good friends. And the parents got along so well, though. They're like our friends now. We'll travel together and we hang out. So, it brought a lot of really great people together, and to be able to be, to see that and be like, oh, it's so fortunate for you to get along with your castmates.
Oh, yeah.
On set, but then to also be hanging out, offset and get to share in that with them was really cool and very special and exciting for me as a parent to be able to see and be a part of that, and be there for her. I'm like, if you need, I'm here. I'm support. Like, if you need help running lines or going through whatever. Like, my favorite thing to do when I wasn't working was go through all the sides that they had for that day. Even the stuff that she wasn't working on, right. I'm looking through, reading the rest of the scene. I'm like, oh, well. Looks like Elle has superpowers. And I'm like, hey, Birdie, this is yeah. So there were things like that. But I was like, I'm here if you need help. But she was such a pro, and she had such a blast on set.
How long has she been working in the industry?
I think she got her SAG card when she was 5 or 6. Like, it's kind of crazy how quickly she was like, she saw, I think, some of my commercials or something, and she showed an interest. And my wife and I were like, well, look, we're in LA. It's easy enough to get you set up with an agent now. We know plenty of, and the agents that she is signed with, theatrically and commercially, I worked at for a long time.
Oh, wow.
Early on in LA. So they're like family. So it's beautiful to share that with her.
I know, for an adult, it might be a little bit more, I don't know if it's easier or anything like that to sit on something as big. You said that both you and Birdie were fans of the show. Did you ever you could say no and we'll just move on, but do you ever feel like it almost slipped out or people were like, who might have known were like, prodding or anything like that? Or did you feel like it was pretty cool and easy for both of you to just kind of sit on this, big secret?
It
was not
yourself.
easy. No, it was not easy.
Right.
It was not easy. I will say this though, that before, when the offer came in and before I signed any NDA or any, contract, I had told a couple of my close friends. I was like, I'm going in on the show. So like the next time I see them, I'm like, what's going on with this show? But beyond that, once we were like locked in, their publicity department at Netflix is like probably one of the scariest departments to ever like mess with. Like they're this is the show you don't want to mess up on. Yeah. Everybody's looking for clues or spoilers or any leaks whatsoever. And they're like, you have to keep your guard up. And during the entire year, they had locals coming out. There was people getting drones flying overhead. So we were aware of it at all times. We're like, you can't let it slip.
Well, I think also
we can actually get sued.
Yeah, and if you go in as a fan and you know what that's like to have something spoiled for you or something, like you never want to be that person. It's like going in and messing it up for everybody.
Yeah, I see. I love the MCU, so like I'll look at any kind of spoilers because I'm like, until it's confirmed, I'll watch all of it because the idea of the things that might come sound fun to me, So I'm like, so let's see where this. I'll watch all these spoilers. But when it came to this show, I was like, I'm very selective. Actually, up until the very end, I was like, I don't really want to know.
Yeah.
More like early on, I was really in on trying to find all the clues, and then kind of towards the end, I was like, I don't know that I want to know exactly how it ends. And fortunately, as much as I tried like digging around and finding clues, they're so good at keeping that stuff locked up. And so to which I love. I love that they did that. I love that it was on need to know basis. It keeps it so exciting. And I still am guessing there's some parts some things I theorized are coming, but I might be totally wrong. And there's plenty I don't know about. So as a fan, I'm just excited like everyone else.
What's your guys'
finale? We get one more.
What's your guys' favorite fan theory that's out there right now where you were like, actually, I could see that going down? Whether you like it or not, whether you enjoy the theory or not. What's one that you hear, that you've read or heard, that you're like, that might have legs. That might be something that goes down.
Think about that one. Do you have one?
Well, yeah, I can jump in because I don't want to soapbox. I really don't. But here it comes anyway.
Oh, Lord.
No, you mentioned it earlier, both of you did, about like the fan base of Stranger Things. And I didn't want to interject, but I do want to say it now. How about the fan base of Stranger Things being as unified like a Lord of the Rings or true fans of the franchise. And that's the point. True fans of this franchise will not fall into what I am unfortunately seeing right now online, which is, and this is the risk, right? I don't think it was intentional. Obviously it wasn't, because it was a full strike in between 4 and 5 that caused this delay in production and such. But you're talking about, what was it, 2-3 years, between 4 and 5 that you just let fans just come up with stuff. And oh my gosh. So I fell into it, waiting for between Thanksgiving and Christmas, waiting for volume 2. We were in it with the fan theories, everything from Eddie's coming back as a vampire, all this stuff. I was like, yeah, there is a bigger bad. Like, I got so into it. I love board games. It's not in the shot, but I love board games, and I love the Horrified board game series, which started with the Universal monsters, and now it's just like cool. you're trying to like kill the monsters, and they just done like different monsters, different versions of it. They just put one out that is Dungeons and Dragons, right? Okay. Bought the deal because I'm super into it. I played a few D&D campaigns, and the whole thing were like, Vecna's not the big bad. There's another big bad. That's the one that I felt like, yeah, I think that. Yeah, that it's the red dragon, or the the 3-headed dragon that they say in season 1. So I think that's where I was going. Obviously, I would love to see Eddie come back as Kaz, but I think all that stuff is a little too fan theory to where the point is now we are, or at least the fans who are getting mad that it's not panning out the way they theorized it. Mm-hmm. I don't like that. I'm like, fan theory is fun. You're just, it's light. Throw it away when it doesn't happen. Trust in the show. Are you a fan or are you not? So I like to theorize, but I'm not. I am so happy, and I am talking pre-finale here. I am so happy with what I have seen, Volume 1 and Volume 2. For sure. So yeah, I think Vecna's not the big bad. There's another big bad has been my favorite theory.
Yeah, that one is interesting. I mean, like I said, there's plenty I don't know, and I hear that there is going to be these like vignettes afterwards, right? Kind of showing maybe where characters go into the future. I don't know. Maybe not. Maybe it's just like picking up on. This is the reason why I've read across this one. I'm like, that seems like they could go this route. The Duffers have referenced to Lord of the Rings quite a bit, and how there's a lot of finales on that. I'm like, so we'll see. I wonder, because they only have, like, to the fans who get mad at them not maybe bringing some of these ideas to fruition. They have such limited time to wrap up this story, and there is so much they have to do this season besides telling an awesome story and figure. But they have to answer a lot of things. Even introducing new characters is risky for them, because fans don't want it. They're like, we don't need new characters. Like, we want to know what's happening with our favorites, and we want to see Enzo come back, or it'd be cool to see some of these other characters come back. Eddie as a vampire, like that's just a different show to me, and I don't know that they would take it there. Maybe they do. Maybe they surprise us. I mean, it's already turned up to like 12 notches on where they took it to, like, that, as they're showing us the mythology of it. But yeah, it's like you have so much story to tell, so you can't get mad at it, and it's they're doing the absolute best they can, and they put a lot of thought into it. So just accept what's coming.
Right.
It's gonna be great. And like, you know, what we keep hearing about is that they're really sticking the landing. That the finale is gonna be awesome. And Sean Levy's saying how it's gonna be, you know, it's the best finale he's ever seen.
Wow.
And I believe it. I'm excited to see it. I believe it too. You know, I'm like,
They've nailed it
that
so
dude
far.
he did Deadpool Wolverine. Like, you know, like, he knows what he's doing.
I mean, look, let's be honest. The guy's such a great speaker too. He presented the movie. They had everyone speak out before the episode 1 played during the premiere, and he's just so good with his words. He's so good at being able to express, and like it's so sincere too. Like he was a fan of the Duffers. He loves the show. He's obviously directing it and he's producing. He's all over it. And but for him to say it's going to end and be satisfying ending is really, really exciting.
I believe you.
So I'm like, he could just be talking that, but I mean, the guy, like, he knows what he's talking about.
Yeah.
He could just be talking it up because it's his show, but I don't think so.
That's another thing that makes this show so singular is just you can feel the love behind it. Like everyone's on board. Everyone truly loves these characters. It translates so much. I think that's why it's so successful. It's just everyone's so all in. And they really struck gold with their casting department. Like their casting department needs all the awards and all the accolades because you loved all these characters from the jump. And it's also a testament to the Duffers because even when they introduce new characters or they even introduce you to a character that you're supposed to hate, somehow you end up loving them and you're like, well, how did I get here? Like, or these characters that come in halfway and you're like, you can't be in the Scooby Gang. We don't know you. And then as they're in the Scooby Gang, you're like, oh crap, I like them being here. Like it's an art form that's just not easy to nail. And damn, they nailed it. Like nailed it. Even like a character who comes in for one, has one little scene. You're like, oh, not that guy. Like they've nailed. It's just such an amazing thing and it's not easy to do when you have.
They put so much thought into considering what the fallout's going to be and how the audience is like. They're so in tune with what their fans expect out of this show.
Yeah.
But they're sticking to their guns. They've had the vision all along, and now they're just trying to wrap it up. And I think it's going to be it's exciting to see where it's going to go. And honestly, like all the other fan theories of like Steve coming back, and I'm like I could see that because it's all like Vecna knows how to use dead people and bring them back for. I don't know that they would. They've already kind of done that in season 4, but it's all canon. You never know.
I mean, there's one thing that I think, as far as I'll call it vitriol that's online right now about, and if y'all aren't aware, just a bunch of mouth breathers have gone out and review bombed some stuff that they didn't like in this season and in the last episode of Volume 2. It's just so stupid because you're obviously you haven't been watching, right? You haven't been watching the show then. Exactly. So, my thing, though, that I do agree with that has been popping up on Reels a lot is, and I've thought it since season 2, Callie, 8, right? Mm-hmm. You're up to something, girl.
You're up to something. I saw a theory about her, and
you're
I'm like,
up to something.
It might be true.
Yeah.
It might be true.
I think
she's up to something.
Job of keeping that under wraps. Mm-hmm. Her entire, even on the call sheet, it was not. It was a code name for her. So they didn't want those pages getting leaked or anything, and people being able to put that together.
Yeah, I was thinking about that, like from an actor's perspective. She didn't go to the premiere. I don't think she. I mean, I guess she could do some press junkets now, but like, think about that. You're like, dang, I'm in this show. Like, I'm really in this show, but I'm such a secret that I can't go and do all the publicity and stuff.
That'd be wild if that was a part of it. She's just like, they're like, the Duffers are just like, hey, just don't go to the screening real quick. Let's just, let's let the build,
You're not allowed. You're not allowed to go.
Yeah.
Although I saw Susie at the premiere, so I'm waiting for Susie. I don't know. I saw her at the premiere.
Well, so was, I can't think of the actress who plays, Barb, but she was there as well.
Oh, Barb was there. That's right.
Barb's around.
Yeah. Yeah, she's around.
Everyone's like,
who knows? I mean, I know.
Yeah.
I know. Although the way that the Duffers react to those questions in interviews, I'm like, there's no way Barb's coming back.
No.
They're like, she's dead. She's done. She's like this character that died in the first, whenever. I was like, she's not coming back.
Yeah.
When they said that, I was like, I think I believe you guys. But we'll see. Maybe she comes back and her eyes and bones are all broke. It could be gross. It could be a fun reveal.
She's a zombie Barb.
Yeah. Gosh, I can't wait to see what comes.
Oh, it's gonna be
me
wild.
either. So speaking of the finale, then Manny, you are aware that, and Kristen, that the finale will be airing in theaters. Are either of you going to partake?
It was sold out when I looked. My roommates and I thought about it because I was really on the fence with wanting to see it with an audience, because there is a little bit of appeal when everyone's reacting together and you're all losing your minds. Like, I always go to those YouTube videos where that bar footage where everyone reacts to Arya killing the Night King, or, Avengers Endgame when everyone shows up and rolls up on your set. Like, sure, that all looks appealing, but I don't know. I think I'm too emotionally invested. I want I'll be like, everyone shut up.
Yeah.
I need to experience this. I need to go there. So me
Let
personally.
me be the only one who gasps.
Yes.
Right. Yeah.
We did get tickets, so we are going to be watching at 5:00, and I'm excited. I'm excited to be able to watch. I'd watched the first episode and now the last episode of season 5 in the theater. Wow! It is so wild to watch it on the big screen. I wasn't even thinking about it as I was sitting in the Chinese theater. I was thinking, like, I think my manager leaned over and he was like, "It's kind of crazy that we're going to see your face here at the Man's Chinese Theater, huh?" And I was like, "Oh my God, you're right." I was like, yeah, you're right. I know I pop into this episode. That's going to be kind of fun to see. And then, to share that experience with that audience, I'm excited to do that again, for sure. It's going to be interesting. I think, it sounds like they obviously put it in the theater for a reason, right? They're like, it's going to be worth it if you can get in there.
Yeah.
Haven't they rolled out? Like, are there any more? There's nothing. Everything's sold out. It's too late now.
I
feel like they opened up more theaters, but maybe they're all booked out too.
Yeah, I haven't seen any that are still open taking tickets, unless you're watching a screening to see it on the big screen after it's already premiered. Like, I've seen some tickets for that, just for the sake of seeing it on a big screen.
Yeah, we watched. We have a projector and we put it up and watched Volume 1 with all of our friends. Birdie's friends were here to watch it on that, and it was obviously not a big screen, but it's big enough to feel it. And I was like, this is such a fun way to watch it. It really is. But I hear you, because, like, as you know, you're emotionally invested, and you kind of need that space to yourself too.
Yeah. I like to get lost.
To process it. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. We thought about doing a projector on our front porch and just watching it on New Year's, but then we're like, wait, we didn't think about fireworks. We didn't think about our neighborhood and how rowdy it is. Like, maybe we'll just bring it inside. We'll bring it inside, get the Dolby Surround going.
There you go.
And that's how it'll go down.
Let's go.
Get some popcorn.
Yeah. Some popcorn. Little snackies.
Did you get those, the popcorn holders, the little Demogorgon heads? I think they sold at Target or something?
No.
Put your popcorn in there.
Now that you've mentioned it, I might hunt for one.
There's the merchandise everywhere.
They were still available, because I pretty much took Target for all it's worth. Like, I bought all the shit. But those Demogorgon popcorn buckets were definitely still available. I do actually want to ask, okay, so when you say we, Manny, that's obviously you and the fam, yeah? Going to watch the movie?
Oh, yeah.
Going to the theater, right?
Yeah, with the friends, yeah.
Okay,
and all
so
our friends are going too. Yeah, I think we've got a big group going, actually.
Okay, that's good. I guess that's what I'm kind of alluding to, is because, like, it's not like Taylor Swift rabid fan base at this point, but I think if Birdie's walking out with the crowd of of the finale, and some of them recognize her, they may come at her, say, is she gonna, like, plan a disguise? Or, because I remember seeing the boy who played Georgie in It Volume 1. He went to the premiere in a slicker, in his yellow slicker, just like, I'm here, so he leans right into it. So
that's good.
Are y'all just embracing it, or are you just gonna take some precautions? How does that work?
I don't know. It's gonna be dark. We'll be fine. We'll be fine,
okay.
Right? I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm like, we're just navigating it the way I feel like disguise. That's a good idea. I don't think we're gonna go in disguise. Well, you know what? We'll treat it like the old ArcLight, and we'll have her come out before the movie and say, "Hi guys, I'm in. Just welcome to the theater. Just letting you know I am gonna be on the show."
I am one of the 12.
Yeah. I know. It's going to be fun. It's going to be, we'll see how it goes down. I'm going to fight the urge to embarrass her and be like, guys, look who it is. Yeah.
You got to.
Your attention,
you got
please.
to.
I know. It'd be fun. We'll see what happens. I probably will say something.
One pretty
Knowing
scene
myself, I'm going to help.
that I was very taken aback by was the scene where Holly woke up from her little nappy nap after she escaped Vecna and came back. And these damn kids turned on her like it was hostile. That one little girl who's like, she's been my best friend since kindergarten, and then tries to straight up strangle her. Like, it's like these kids went from zero to drink the Kool-Aid so fast.
I know. Yeah, they turned.
Oh my God. Like, I saw the memes. Like, everyone wants to kill that little boy who's like, bitch. Like, I was like, oh my God.
He's so fun. Carson's awesome. Yeah.
That's wild.
Yeah.
That's wild.
He was so happy to be able to be, dipshit. Everyone's calling each other dipshit. This season's so good.
How were the kids? How did
insane.
they have so much fun just turning on their inner angry?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, our kids got to hang with Jake Connolly and Nell Fisher. Obviously, they were the new series regulars who joined this season. And obviously Birdie and her group of friends are all the classmates. So we knew, we knew we were going to be spending quite a bit of time around them. And again, it was just so fun to be able to see them build a friendship offset, and then to, like, they know that they're on the biggest show, and, they get to do that together and have these crazy scenes, where they're throwing Holly down the stairs. Like, what kid, you don't get to do that very often. So they just had a blast. Yeah. And at the Creel House too. It's so cool to be on that set.
Oh yeah.
You just feel it. You feel the enormity of it, and walking through, and I'm like, again, thinking like, oh, we've seen this depicted, and it's different now, but now the kids are taking over. There's a different energy in this house, but it's all a lie, it's dark. It's so fun. It's so cool to have that layered in there that they got to play with.
Yeah.
Because they got completely swept up they got brainwashed. As Henry Creel predicted, they're weak. They're going to be easy to manipulate, and there's proof. Again, going back to writing, like, we're going to show you now that the kids are easily manipulated.
It's brilliant.
Yeah.
I do want to slap that one little dude though. My God, he's her ass down. I was like, you little asshole! Like,
broke her sweet little necklace.
Props to him. That young man who's probably sweet as a button, like in
He's
real
awesome,
life.
yeah,
I was like,
awesome.
wow. Okay, baby De Niro, you just made me so angry.
I know. That's the thing. We get it. We're invested. Yep. We can't hurt these people. And I'm with you on this Steve thing. He's always been my fave.
Another great
Dustin,
example.
I'm like, you can't hurt them.
Of like building a character that you think is going to be a douchebag asshole that you're like, this dude. And then a couple episodes later, you're like, oh my God, I will jump off this poor, you just end up loving them. You're like, wow.
Yeah.
Damn it.
He was supposed to be the villain. He was supposed to be the villain of season 1. Like, straight up gonna be a Billy-like character, and it just wasn't meant to be. This was meant to be. Steve with his Farrah Fawcett hair product, Manny with us very sexy for men. It all, like, it's all just tied in there of just using products in the best way.
Yeah.
Agreed.
Okay, so actually, I do want to ask though about any sort of fan reaction that you may have experienced since the volume has dropped, since your character has debuted. Has there been any fun, cool story you could say about a fan reaction, or maybe something that wasn't so fun that you may have experienced thus far?
Well, the initial reaction was just feeling the overwhelming love and support from people who've known me for so long, and just the surprise of seeing me pop up on that show was great. So it was a lot to take in at first, just because it was a lot, and I'm still processing the experience. But that was really sweet, and then the memes that were sent to me were also very fun. And now that the Birdie's character, like, they have memes out there, so it's just kind of funny to get caught up in it in a minor way. Nothing over the top, but being like feeling the excitement and the energy of the show, it coming out, like that build up was, I'd never felt anything like that before. Walking to the premiere, like all of that stuff, I was like, man, this is like, we're about to be one of the first people to experience what's coming. The more story that we're about to get, that we've been waiting for so long. So it was just kind of, it's been fun to see the reactions, and, but it's like, it's, they pop up one day, but it's like the finale of, volume 1, there is so many reveals back to back to back, and they're all so cool. It's like we're seeing Vecna for the first time. That is, that's cool. Then we're seeing his powers upgrade. We're seeing how he kills. And then we're seeing like what's happening to Noah over here. Like it just kept getting better and better. And it's like all of a sudden there was just so much going on. And then the episode ends and we're like, what was that?
What?
That was so much great TV. So yeah, it's just been fun to feel, getting caught up in the excitement of it. It's been a blast.
That's cool.
And to see it from her, for Birdie too, to see now that she gets to go back to school and have friends be like, she's like, an 8th grader came up to me and was like, are you in Stranger Things? She's like, yeah.
Oh, how fun.
And she walked away. She's like, who was that? That was it. That was the whole exchange. Just an 8th grader coming up and being like, are you on it? That's what I thought.
Yeah.
Because, I'm sure even for her, like you go to work, you do the thing that you do and you're just so immersed in it. And then you go back to your normal life as like, oh yeah, it's a thing I did, but you don't really realize the scale of like, oh, people saw this. Like, people, this complete stranger at Walmart. It's like, oh my God, like that's got to be jarring on a little brain, on a little mind. Like, totally. Okay, this guy at Albertsons asked if someone dies this season.
Right. Yeah, there's she had friends once it was revealed, once the cat was out of the bag and we could tell our friends that we were on it. Everybody wanted to know what was going on with her character. You know what I mean? Like she got bombarded with like, did you see Millie? Did you hang out with this? It's like, oh, who was this person like? I was like, yeah, she's got all those stories to tell. Like we both have like conversation starters for the rest of our lives. Yeah. It's so cool to be able to like at any point be like, oh, by the way, you remember that season of Stranger Things? It's a guy who got I got Vecna'd.
I got Vecna'd.
In the
movies like that, yeah.
On the call sheet, it was Ramirez gets skewered. Ramirez gets skewered. Solid. Yeah, and I was like, that's cool. That's a fun description.
That's cool.
Yeah, for you super fans out there, if you're throwing a watch party, there's your themed food. Ramirez skewers. I don't know. Figure it out. Maybe it's a sausage or something.
Yes.
So I want to ask then, jumping back into, obviously we talked about the massive, show and presence that is Stranger Things. And you talked about how, being a fan of the show and going after it for, since you knew it was coming out. What, I guess, if you could give any advice to any young up and coming actors or actors who maybe have been in this business for a while, who are going after that role or that goal, or that's something that might feel a little, just out of reach, something that is on the magnitude of this, what advice would you give them as far as like a outlook that they could adopt that helped you get
for
to
new? This is for newer like up and coming actors, people who are getting into it,
or anybody who just is like chasing that neon rainbow. You know what I mean?
So many lessons came out of my experience with this, but I would say the first bit of advice that I would give any young actor, any actor at any point is, especially early on, get the experience. I was self-submitting on projects for a long time, or like working with friends on their projects or whatever indie stuff. And you never know where an opportunity might lead you or who you might be working with, even if it's a student film, and that's the first thing I would say is like, just go for it. Just get in it somehow. Just start acting, get whatever work you can to get that experience under your belt. And then beyond that, you got to just love it. You got to love it so much because we all know what the journey's like. There's a lot of ups and downs and a lot of close calls and a lot of like, this is the one, but what I've come to learn is that if you're in it because you love it and you're good at it and you're continually trying to improve at it, just stick with it. Opportunities will come down the pipeline, and if you're ready to go for it, you'll find work. You'll be able to stay busy, and no one needs to give you permission to act. You can go act on anything you want. Just because if I didn't get this part, that doesn't mean I'm not a good actor. I don't deserve that part. It's just I wasn't right for it. Move on to the next one. You just got to keep a positive attitude all the way through, persevere. And do stuff outside of it. Have a life outside of acting too. I think that's coming from improv and having, even though it was all tied in, it's still entertainment. It was just a whole different community, a whole different world, and just having a full life outside of it, because it can get really, really hard, and you're gonna need to you just need to be sane. You need to be able to hang in there through the ups and downs. Yeah.
True that.
Or the upside down.
Or the upside down.
Or the upside down.
Upside down.
Alrighty. Okay, well, I do believe we are approaching what I like to commonly refer to as the rapid fire session of our happy hour of horror, where I'm going to throw a few this or that's at you, Kristen. Mm-hmm. You can jump in here as well. Some of these are prepared. Some of these are I'm just going to think of on the fly. These are going to be a little bit, we're going to start maybe with some Hawkins-ish adjacent this or that's, and then maybe delve into the world of horror, because we do like to honor the promise here. And I will get your takes here a little bit, Manny, on your favorite horror movies and stuff like that we wrap up this happy hour of horror. So just a few little this or that's. Just you could pick what is your favorite or what is you like the way it sounds in that moment. So here we go. Rapid fire. Demogorgon or Vecna?
We both go. You going first? Am I going?
You go.
Oh no, it's for you, Manny.
Oh, it's just for me.
Yeah, you're the guest.
Vecna. Okay.
Vecna.
All right. Thank you.
Okay, Vecna. So when Vecna came in, that's all right. Okay. Would you rather have a fight at the Hawkins Lab, like a big fight at the Hawkins Lab, or Starcourt Mall?
Ooh, Starcourt Mall would be way more fun. Because if I get lost in that arcade, you're not going to find me. Actually, you'll find me. You'll know exactly where I'm at. I know exactly what games I'm going to.
Well, he's right there. I guess we'll kill him.
He's been at Street Fighter for like 2 hours.
We should wait, though. He's about to win.
Yeah.
He's about to win the fight. Yeah.
Do you prefer... and you can answer this as from an actor perspective and then a consumer perspective. Practical effects or CGI?
Practical, even though in this one, it was very much CGI for my final moments. But yeah, practical for sure. Also, I would say that as an artist too, being like having, if you have the set, if you have the things, that's what I love about Michel Gondry, is like having these elaborate sets where it's like very theatrical, practical effects are always more fun. You're in the moment. You're just like, it's much easier to play off of.
Yeah. And I also love it when the actor fully embraces that, like Benedict Cumberbatch crawling around like Smaug, or, Josh Brolin doing the Thanos, even though he's got a thing up here. Okay.
So you say this or that, and I'm supposed to just say this or that, but then I end up talking too much. So
it's okay. That's how it goes. That's how it goes.
This is the way. This is the way it is. Do you prefer the story of the final girl or the heroic sacrifice? Heroic
sacrifice will always have a more poignant feeling. Yeah, emotional.
I have my theories. Okay. Do you prefer to watch horror movies alone or with friends?
With friends. Mm. Yeah. You want to feel the jump together.
Feel it.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay. So, sticking into a horror question, do you prefer or a fan of 80s horror or modern horror?
I think there's something so special about 80s anything that it would be hard to ever pick anything opposite of that, just because it captured such a weird, unique time in life, every aspect, every medium of entertainment, that the way they did things was just so different and so cool, I think.
The decade of excess. Can't beat it. Yeah. We're still taking our cues from that decade. All right. And the final one I got on the page here. Who would survive longer in Hawkins? Sergeant Ramirez or Birdie's character?
Oh, well, Birdie's character, in the current state of things, yeah. I mean, look, every soldier, we're doomed. Like, it is not looking good. We should probably get out of Hawkins as soon as possible. So, if it's not at this battle, there's surely going to be something else. So, I think I would put my money on Birdie's character, Rebecca, making it.
Birdie's got them. She got them special powers, Rebecca. We don't know. These kids were chosen for a reason.
That's what I'm saying.
What's she gonna do? Like, they were at the dinner table and they were like 5, 6, 7, 8. Like, they know.
Yeah,
I know.
That's a countdown.
If they do get powers, I hope they're cool. I hope they're cooler than my real life superpower, which I'm really good at finding things. But that's not.
No, that's a superpower. Don't diminish that skill. It's important.
Yeah. I just wish I had other ones instead of that. But it's okay. I'll take what I can get.
Yeah.
That is the last one I had on the page. Kristen, do you have any?
Oh, snap. All right. I'm going to go with, since everyone's really obsessed with who's going to die. Like, if you have to choose between your faves, who are you going to sacrifice?
Well, of the leads?
Let's make it hard. Let's say, 11 or Mike.
Golly, I would hate to see it. Like, it's hard thinking about these characters.
I know.
Leaving the show like that.
Who are you gonna save?
I just feel because of they're both being so heroic this season, huh? I mean, Mike's always been so heroic, so he would be one of those, like, let me sacrifice myself for this. But Elle just comes from that world. I think I would just say, you can't kill the best friend Mike with his homies, right?
So Elle, okay. So you're
I think I'd have to choose Elle. Okay. I think I'd have to kill Elle.
So Elle? Okay.
Kill Elle, yeah.
So you want her to die is what you're saying? No, I'm just kidding.
I don't want her to die,
I'm just kidding. Okay.
But that's not a very strategic choice, by the way. I'd much rather have Elle on my side.
Of course.
Than Mike. Mike's great.
No.
Mike can do a lot of damage, but come on.
No, more of a this or that.
Elle.
Like, if you had to choose, like, who's going to die out of the two?
Yeah.
It's a toughie.
It's a toughie.
Mike's the one in the Captain Planet that says heart, right? That's
the one.
That's what he's got. He's like, I'm the heart. Cool. What comes with that? I don't know, guys. I'm just going to really pep you guys up.
Right.
I love this. I love seeing, I love a lot of things about the season, but seeing him and Nancy having a little powwow in volume 1, I think it was volume 1. And, I was like, these are like generals right now talking about wartime. And like, I was like, we're getting to see a dynamic of these characters that we haven't seen before, because now they are forced to just, there's no more questions of, are we working together? They're in it.
Right.
So we get to see these really fun exchanges between the characters. And that was one where I was like, that's so cool. I also love when, like, the boys show up in the first episode by the bullies from the basketball team. And all of a sudden Lucas is like, hey, back up.
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah, they've been through it now. They're not going to be these pushovers anymore. Like, they're seasoned veterans here. They're going to be, we have bigger fish to fry than these guys.
Right.
But it's cool to see other parts of their personalities come out.
Right. All right, Dan, this or that. Miss Wheeler or Joyce? You got to make that sacrifice. Who are you taking?
Oh, I got to kill one of them?
Yeah, one of them has to die. Which one?
Oh, my gosh. I can't even think about, like, how much Joyce's death would hurt everybody around her. But I love Nancy's. I mean, not Nancy. You said, wait, who was the other one? You said
Karen.
Yeah.
Karen fucking Wheeler.
Who, honestly, I did not
great,
like at first. She was another one that I was like, I am never going to like this bitch. Like, I was just like, she don't know where her kids are at. Dad doesn't know where his kids are at.
She almost had an affair. The 80s. She almost straight up had an affair. She already emotionally cheated on her husband.
Yep. And I was like, I will never love her. And then she freaking had her wine and did the laundry. And I'm like, what?
You know what? You're right. Kill her. You're right. Let's kill her. Listen, it's settled. Don't do that.
Karen's out.
Yeah, she's gone.
One
I
of
was gonna
my
say Joyce,
favorite
but-
one of my favorite lines has been Elle saying to Hopper that the Demogorgon is bleeding. Who heard it? Karen with her wine.
wine.
That has been said in this household many
Karen
times.
with her wine.
Karen
So
with her
good.
wine. But if you're asking me, though, nobody's touching Joyce because nobody's touching Lydia Dietz. Nobody's touching Winona. That is
one.
when Lydia Dietz and Mikey from the Goonies got together. I'm like, do you all not see this is 80s royalty?
It was so
royalty.
beautiful. It was so
One of the things I love to say to Lance all the time. I'm like, Lance, we were talking about 80s royalty here. And then they did, dang it, the Pallyfest, I think they were doing Pallyfest for season 2. And cause this clip just resurfaced. And, Will Wheaton is, proctoring or facilitating the panel, and it's all of them up there. And he's just asking some question. And Winona says, she interrupts him. She's like, when I was growing up, when we were all coming up, I had 2 major crushes in this business. And it was you, Will. And she goes, and it was you, Sean Astin. Wow. And I was like, that's perfect.
Wild.
That's fantastic.
That's so sweet.
Beautiful.
What a fun moment.
Yeah. Yeah. So no, Joyce lives forever.
Okay, Joyce lives forever. Okay, that's fair.
Forever and ever.
That's fair.
Yeah, you can't kill her. You're right. And we almost said her name 3 times, so she would have shown up. We would have had to deal with that.
Yep. No,
Oui.
I concur.
You almost said her character name 3 times.
Joyce.
Okay. Well, Manny, before we wrap, get out of here, it has been a very fun happy hour of horror. I just got to ask you, in the world that is Slasher's Paradise, we are very much fans of the slashers. I kind of am geared to one major slasher here in Phelps Garage, but we share the love. I say Michael Myers is the best slasher of all time. Kristen, in the last episode of the Happy Hour of Horror, pretty much said the same thing.
Oh, right. Oh, you said Mike Myers. That's right. You said Jason. I thought you said Jason, but you said Mike Myers last time.
Michael Myers, I did, yeah.
Yeah.
Michael Myers. Okay.
Not for me, though. That's not my choice.
Oh, I was going to say, I was like, oh, he came straight
Well,
out
then
the gate.
go
with that.
ahead then, Manny. Just break my heart then. No. Who is your quintessential, in the pantheon of slashers, who is your numero uno?
Mine has always been Freddy Krueger. Not always great. That was one of the series I rewatched going to, because I knew Frank Darabont was going to be around. So I was like, you know what? I know that these are inspirations for some parts of Stranger Things. So I was trying to watch a lot of stuff gearing up for it, just putting it all in my head. And it's just, for me, the storyline of his character, the backstory, is so dark and disturbing that when they recreated they were trying to recreate Freddy Krueger years ago, and it didn't do so well. I want them to keep trying. I want them to bring it back some way. But yeah, Mike Myers is scary shit though. Mike Myers. Is scary shit.
I mean,
he terrifies.
Longevity. I mean, some folks would say, I think you just kind of illustrated that point. Robert Englund is Freddy Krueger. If you don't have Robert, you don't have Freddy. And they tried it with Jackie Earle Haley, which was doing a version of Rorschach from Watchmen, and that's okay. But to your point, agreed 100% about backstory. Backstory is important. And I think what the remake did in 2010, I think, when it was, they muddled the water about what happened to Freddy. And it was like, oh, was he wrongfully accused? So like for a large part of the movie, you're almost feeling sympathetic for Freddy Krueger. And then they're like, no, actually, he is a bastard. Whereas in the beginning or the original and everything that came after it, it was like, no,
he's just the
Freddy's
worst.
a bastard. He's a piece of shit. Like you don't, there's no sympathy here.
No,
but
and I would love to. I would love so much for him to come back and reprise his role and just keep going with it. I don't know. Maybe start something a new idea, but with Robert Englund is the only way I want to see it too.
Yeah.
I think he said he's open to come back and do an animated, something, lend his voice to it, which would be great. But I think his days of running around with the claw are a little bit, are behind him.
You're saying, Hellraiser was one that never hooked you. I felt like the way it looked like Candyman. Candyman was one of those where I was like, I remember watching the movies and I was like, it never really hooked me, but.
Same. So I was like, okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Didn't get me.
session.
I ended up like respecting Tony Todd so much more post Candyman, which folks would say Tony Todd, is in this horror movie genre so beloved because of Candyman. I was like, no, he kept on doing stuff. He would just kind of pop up here and there. Of course, he was a major part in the Final Destination series, but I appreciated Candyman. But I think I saw that and I was like, okay, moving on. Whereas like Hellraiser, I just kind of stayed away from it. I watched the original. And I don't know, man, some of these effects were so good back then. I think there's something about 80s practical effects that they can be just on the verge of being like ultra cheesy.
Comical.
Right.
Oh yeah,
and comical, that they come off kind of very effective. Like when they're doing like flesh ripping. Yeah, it's very disturbing. So I think that's kind of what let me away from it. But just to kind of put a button on what you said about Freddy and the inspiration, and there's a huge Dream Warriors, which is part 3, presence in, I'll say, Vecna in season 4. This Vecna is very much Hellraiser. Yeah, very much Pinhead. But, like I saw the homages. I think a lot of folks kind of miss like some of the small ones. But,
they're all in there.
They're so all in there. When Max is fighting Vecna before 11 gets there in the end of season 4, that is totally Patricia Arquette fighting Freddy, and then Heather Langenkamp comes in and like kind of saves the day in part 3. I'm like, that is so perfect.
Right.
So the Duffers will always be
I
here.
picked up on some of that too, just recently on the episode where everything's melting with the matter that's melting down and them locked in the room. Like that was giving me vibes of Dream Warrior as well. I was like, it's just,
for sure.
You can feel the homages if you're really in tune for it. I'm sure.
And the
It'll
blatantly
be a fun video to
obvious
see.
Jurassic Park one most recently, where everyone's just like, this is exactly the kitchen.
You know what movie I loved? This is kind of going off topic here, but I'm curious to hear what your take is on it, because it's one that a more modern one. But Insidious, how do you feel about the movie Insidious?
I love Insidious.
Yeah,
we haven't had our chance to discuss it yet, but
not yet.
I love it.
It's good. They do practical stuff too, where it feels like you see it. It's like theatrical, but there's something really creepy about it.
It's simple.
It gives a little bit of the 80s vibe.
Yeah.
No,
I
don't know, something about that.
And Manny, one more question for you, just for shits and giggles. What's the first horror movie you saw that like truly rattled you? Like where it messed you up for like a good week and a half?
This is not a comedy. I mean, it's a comedy, but it was Arachnophobia really fucked me up. And I don't even think, is that considered like, is that even considered a...
I think so. I think so.
Yeah?
Yep.
It took me, I don't know how old I was when I read somewhere that the other genre is comedy on that. I was like, what? Because it just, I am like arachnophobic. I'm like, I have to face my fears in real life because of that. That's one that just came to mind immediately. Because it terrified the shit out of me. And my brother. And like he was watching it and I went up behind his leg and like tickled his leg and it freaked him out.
That's messed up. That's messed up.
Yeah, it was messed up.
Can't be doing that.
4D.
But I'm trying to think. Oh, you know what got me really good was, I don't know how your fans are going to feel about this, but when Blair Witch Project came out and I went to the theaters to watch that, and then I'm like, the way it ends and you're just like, what? Okay, so that's real. There's proof right there. You know, like it sucked me into their world so well. And then like during the credits, it's like, visit the website for more info. I'm like, I'm going to that right away and getting to the bottom of this. And then they kept the storyline going. It was so ahead of their time. The found footage thing, all of it was just, it hooked me. And I felt so dumb afterwards when I saw all of them come out as filmmakers. I'm like, thanks for watching the movie.
He lived.
Like, what the fuck? Yeah, like I'm happy to see that this isn't real, but also I got duped so well on that.
Well, somewhere Lance
that was a good one.
That was to hear that. I'm sure.
Yeah, you were speaking Lance's language. That is one of his all timers. Oh yeah.
But it's
good.
true. It's groundbreaking. I fully. It was
agree. Groundbreaking.
Yep.
And I caught it like when it first came out, so I had no time to hear anything about it or. Yeah, I remember just sitting afterwards in the theater, just like thinking about it all, going like, well. That's proof. Like, what else do we need, guys?
It's right there.
It's so silly to think that now, but. That's a good one. And I love, you guys were talking about The Conjuring. I just watched it with Birdie, coincidentally, because I'm like, you got to watch. I was like, Birdie, I don't know. 'Cause she really wants to watch it. You know, she's like, she saw the trailer as all the things were popping up. And I was like, I do want to watch this with you because I love that franchise. Yeah. She did really well. She can tolerate this stuff. I think it helps her that she can be like, how much makeup did they use that day? You know, how did they, I wonder if they
that's good.
reset. I think she's always kind of processed it kind of intense things that way when it comes, because we showed her Jaws. We showed when she was going to work with Spielberg. We're like, let's see what we can show you, just enough to where like, you know, you at least know what you're walking into, because there was only, there's so many movies we can't show her yet.
Right.
Or now she probably can watch all of them, but yeah, she handled it really well, and she's ready for more. There's a couple. I think the last one I didn't see. So The Last Right, is that the
I haven't caught it yet.
One?
Last Right.
Yeah,
I'm curious.
But I love Patrick Wilson. They're all so good. The cast is insane.
Yeah.
But I remember what you're saying about Conjuring Part 2 so well done with The Nun, and I'm like, oh yeah, I've it's been a while, so I don't remember, but I'm excited to watch it. Although, do you think that's going to be too intense for Birdie?
I mean, if she got through the first one, I think she's pretty safe for number 2.
Yeah. I mean,
right?
I think what messes with people for the introduction of the nun is how they introduce the nun, and you start seeing the nun later in your house because she's in a painting, she's walking across a hallway, etc., that it's almost like, okay, I'm walking down the hallway of my house and she should be there. So I think that's, and just the stark white face and stuff like that. It's like
the way they get her and
reveal
reveal
it in
her,
the dark.
and like lighting and just out of the corner of your eye, and it's a little too close to home where you're like, oh my God, I might see this chick.
Yeah.
Dang. We'll see how it goes. I might be traumatizing her, but
I mean, I don't know. I mean, it's full of heart. Going back to Mike, it is got a lot of heart, that movie. It's one of my favorites.
Love there. Yeah.
Yeah, especially Patrick Wilson does a beautiful. I mean, both him and Vera are just like, you know, firing on all cylinders at that point. And that actually is the last one that James Wan directed in the whole series. So,
okay, so it does become something else.
It is. It's well done.
Very well.
I'll say you can watch The Last Rites.
Just jump right into it. You can watch it. It's not that good. What you're saying? Whatever.
Oh, Dan, is it bad?
James Wan's presence. His presence is missed. I don't care what a producer credit says. If they're not in the chair, like it's obvious.
Okay.
For sure.
But it's not terrible. It's not terrible. I thought it was better than The Devil Made Me Do It, which was the one right before it.
Okay, that's fair.
It was a sequel to The Exorcist that came out in like the early 2000s or something. There was like whatever. I remember it was like the first time I saw like all the bones cracking, or maybe The Ring. I don't know. There was like when you see the bones cracking, that was like a new thing that some of the horror movies were doing. That got me good.
Just like
yeah. It's that comes out in like Stir of Echoes as well. Like where they started doing so like
it's the fingernails like. I talk about Stir of Echo. I bring that up to people, and I'm surprised by how many people have not seen it, because I think Kevin Bacon's so good. That movie's really great. The suspense is awesome.
Coincidentally, that is Robert Englund's choice as to who he would like to take over Freddy. Kevin Bacon.
Interesting.
I would love that.
That'd be rad.
That would be interesting. Yeah.
Pass the torch. That's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Cool. I'll be into that.
Well, this has been quite the adventure here with everyone here in the Slasher's Paradise. We are going to go ahead and end it very soon here, but I just kind of want to give the floor back to you, Manny. Do you have any sort of lasting parting thoughts, things you're excited for, things you're looking forward to in your acting journey to come, some goals that you are setting for yourself, anything you want to share with us?
Sure. Yeah. Actually, can I show you this one thing I brought? I printed some pictures out because I thought it'd be kind of fun. Working on Strange Things there were so many moments of like, I'm like revisiting things, right? I'm reconnecting with the Duffers for the first time. Even to the point where like the first scene we shot was Sergeant Ramirez walking down a corridor. And in the short film that we did when they were student filmmakers, I'm walking down, the first thing we shot was me walking down a corridor.
Stop.
So little moments like that meant so much to me on set. And then, okay, so this is spoiler of the short film that we shot, but this is the first photo, right? So we all know now, everyone's seen this, right? Oh. So that's how he goes down. This is how my character goes down in Eater. Interesting. Interesting, Duffers. Did you see that? Did you see that?
Yeah, that came through for sure.
Yeah, dude. What's the deal? So what am I excited about? Well, let's, I hope the Duffers, we just like work into a third project where my eyes get ripped out.
Yes.
It'd be fun to have, little Easter eggs like that. I'm excited to just, I'm excited that there is work coming back to LA. I'm excited that it seems like there's going to be opportunities, and I'm very realistic when it comes to work like this, even though this is the biggest show and I'm involved in it in one way. I'm like, I'm very realistic about what's to come. I just want to enjoy the experience here and see what comes down the pipeline in the future. I will plug Birdie has a lead role in Nate Bargatze's movie coming out that is dropping in March, and she is playing one of his daughters opposite Mandy Moore and Will Forte. And I'm so excited. We saw, we were seeing some of the footage from that. The trailer just finally came out. I think it's going to be hilarious. And I'm really, really, really excited. Yeah, I'm excited for that to come out for her, because she did such a good job on it. And it's a really funny movie. And I feel like they really captured Nate Bargatze's comedy style and were able to translate it to film so well. And it's his first movie, so I'm excited just to see how that plays out. And then for me, I'm just, excited to see what comes down the pipeline. I'm working on my own short film. I know you worked on, so we got to talk about that elsewhere. But yeah, I wrote a short film last year, and I've been in pre-production for it that I'm going to direct. And my friend Ki Hong is going to be in it. Ki Hong Lee, who was in Maze Runner. So it's just him and I in this short film that we're putting together. So that'll be fun to work on in the new year.
Awesome.
I don't like to get sappy, but if you could hear Lance, he'd probably laugh right now, because he knows that that's bullshit. I actually do love to get sappy. I actually want to give you some major flowers, Manny. This has been really cool of you, man, to come on to the show and sit down with us and talk about your stuff. I meet a lot of different actors, some, a lot, big for their britches, as we say back, down south, where they're just kind of like full of shit. And it's very easy to be full of shit in this business. And thank you, sir, for not being it, and for being a good person. And I'm glad a lot of good things are happening to you and for your family. And I wish you continued success. And for everyone out there who are fans of Stranger Things, Manny Borria has joined us to share some of his wonderful experiences. You can hit him up or follow him on the Instagrams at
Manny Won't Borria.
Hey, there it goes.
Manny Won't Borria.
Alrighty.
I appreciate you having me on, you guys. You spent this evening with me, and I appreciate it, because I am someone who enjoys talking shop with people who enjoy talking shop. And obviously, as a fan of Stranger Things, I could talk about that all day long. And I appreciate the opportunity. Yeah, it's been very surreal, and obviously, I feel really grateful for the experience. And I tell the Duffers any chance I get, I'm like, dude, you guys could pick anybody. Thank you. You picked me and you picked my daughter for these roles, and that's so cool. But yeah, it's a pleasure to sit here and chat about this. So anytime. And I'll continue watching more horror films, because I'm a fan of the genre, and it is also a genre I very much want to work in. I would love to do horror, like straight up. Patrick Wilson, I think isn't he in Insidious as well? He had Conjuring and Insidious come out at the same time.
Yeah,
I would love to do that. I would love to have a comedy horror and a straight up just regular horror, and just dabble in all of it. It'd be so fun.
So rad.
Oh, big wishes, big dreams. All right. Well, it's been an absolute pleasure having Manny here. Thank you, Manny. Thank you, Kristen. This is Danny from Slasher's Paradise signing off. Join us next time, but remember to lock your doors.
Bolt your windows.
And always be reckless.
And join us next time in our Slasher's Paradise.
Nice.
You lost the kids?
You lost
Which ones? Where? Are they having food? Go find them.
Hey, did you see anything you like?
Thanks for checking out Slasher's Paradise tonight. Be kind and rewind by liking and subscribing to our videos on YouTube at Dead Candy.
And if you'd like to continue supporting us wherever you do get your podcasts, we just ask that you rate and review us 5 stars. And if you don't know what to write in the review section, put a horror movie recommendation you'd like for Lance and I to talk about. Also, please visit us on Instagram at Slasher's Paradise.
If you need even more Slasher's Paradise, head over to slashersparadise.com, where you can get drink recommendations, our favorite episodes, and more. Until next time, remember to
lock your doors,
bolt your windows.
And this is Slasher's Paradise. Sorry, I had to work that in.
I'm gonna drink on that one.
Okay. Blended Canadian.